In health news, cheese doesn't particularly come to mind when you think about nutritious foods, but a new study says it could be good for your heart. Danish researchers say they were trying to find out why people in France have such low rates of heart disease despite eating lots of fats. It turns out it may be the fromage. The study found cheese actually reduced so-called bad cholesterol, decreasing risk of a heart attack. But don't go stocking up on cheeses just yet. Researchers say much more studies need to be done. And whether it's cheese or ice cream or pizza, we all have foods that we love to splurge on when we know that we shouldn't. And health and fitness expert Chazz is here to tell us about why it's actually okay once in a while to cheat.
Yes, it actually is, Nancy, okay to cheat now and then. What happens people don't realize is that the human body is incredibly efficient. But what's interesting is our bodies were made for this environment. As a species, we changed our environment in the blink of an ear, or a blink of an eye. So all of those mechanisms that helped for our survival thousands of years ago are really working against us today. So while you're watching your diet, okay, you want to watch the volume of food. But while people do that, again, the body's so efficient that it gets used to it really quick.
Oh, so you're saying if we eat ice cream every day, that's not what you're saying, is
No.
it?
If you eat ice cream every day, you're going to consume a lot of volume of food. And what's going to happen, your body is going to store any amount of calories beyond what it needs into body fat, whether it's healthy food or unhealthy food. Now, while you're dieting and you're restricting your calories, the body's going to look for an easy way to get that extra energy. So what you want to do about maybe once a week, one meal, or a day, depending on your fitness level, is increase the amount of calories. So when I talk about a cheat meal, I'm not necessarily talking about junk food.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now you can eat junk food. There's nothing wrong with that in the grand scheme of things. But if you're eating it every day, that's going to have a detrimental impact on your health.
Okay, so you gave us a couple tips on, how to, if you're going to cheat, how to cheat right. And one of the ones that surprised me was do it at night. What's the reason for that?
Well, what happens is people take their cheat meal during the day. And generally when people are going to cheat, they're going to increase their carbohydrates. And what's going to happen is that's going to increase a chemical within your body to induce more hunger. So what happens is you go through the day, and for most people, they're going to binge a little bit more. Now, a cheat meal is not binging. Those are two separate things. So if you cheat at night, right before you go to bed, chances are that you're going to be less likely to eat more food than you will during the day.
I see. So if you do it earlier in the day, you're going to keep doing it all day.
Correct,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Okay, so you said cheat with carbs. Why is that?
What happens is that most people that go onto a calorie restrictive diet will increase their protein intake, vegetables, things of that nature. What's happening is the glycogen within the muscle area starts to diminish. And as I said, the body is incredibly efficient. So what happens, it's going to look for other areas to increase that energy level. Well, and I want to preference too, you need this with a good exercise program. Okay, so now what happens if you increase your carbohydrate level a little bit, it's going to increase, think of your muscles as a sponge. It's going to absorb a little bit, so it's going to actually boost your metabolism a little bit as well. Now I'm not talking crazy, but just a little bit.
Okay, sadly, you gave us a bunch of other things that we can't do it, but here's a couple of them. Schedule your cheat, and don't feel guilty, and, don't binge, because there's a difference there.
Big difference in binging.
Thank you so much, Chazz. We certainly appreciate your time.